What's up guys, Adrian here and welcome to my Rammus gameplay. So I've been testing him after changes with his new ultimate and the game was really fun, so I'm gonna show you the best build and runes for him. And generally I tried to give tips. The game was really nice. It's a shame that I actually failed to record the gameplay, because now I have to make it from the replay, but I hope that you don't mind and you still enjoy it. And also don't forget to like and subscribe, as I have many more gameplays of other champions that you can check out if you're interested. Alright, so the changes of his ulti are so good. You hop into the air and slow down at a target location, dealing magic damage and slowing enemies. So actually you're able to gap close, jump through walls or something, or get away from bad situations. Like, you imagine you are crowded by other champions while playing Rammus, then it's really hard to get away because you're not able to use Q. And instead you can just ult your way. Okay, so I start with W. Well, W grants you armor and magic resist, but you become slowed by 30%. Attacking increases the duration of this effect up to 4 seconds. And then you take Q. Q grants you movement speed for 6 seconds. And then when you collide with something, the effect ends earlier. You deal damage and slow enemies by 40% for 1 second, also knocking back. Generally, Rammus is so good because he has tons of CC, and with this build you have so low cooldown, so you can constantly be annoying for your enemies. And also there's Yumi in my team, so the movement speed is going to be insane. So you see, it collides, and I can give a tip with the Q. When ganking you need to avoid minions, because the effect will stop and it will be awkward. And surely your enemies will often try to hide behind the minion wave knowing this. So you just want to avoid it, play around whenever possible. And your passive is really great, and that's the famous thing about Rammus. You simply build armor and get damage. So the more armor you got, the more you hit. Now I see the Rammus gank, and here I did something unexpected. I didn't play Rammus for a while. I wanted to Q and flash, but actually I pressed W, and when you press W your Q ends. So even though this mistake was so bad, I hope you don't mind, and this is just a good example if you're learning Rammus. Just cast your Q and collide with something without pressing other abilities. And you could see that I was able to take down whole shield of the scuttler with just a single Q, which is OP, and I think Rammus is in a really good spot right now. So I think I'm gonna play him more. He seems to be a really nice carry. As for E, this is a taunt for 1.2 seconds and you gain 20% attack speed for the same duration. So you see I'm avoiding minions. He pressed W, so I wasn't able. Darius actually stayed around. I hope that he went to counter jungle for the Raptors. And actually I'm gonna change something, because yeah, I'm supposed to see the blue side only. That way it's from my perspective. Okay, so I took some armor for additional damage for my passive. And you want to max Q, because the movement speed scales, the slow, and generally this is your most important ability, making you really mobile. Goes on lower cooldown. Here I can see that Jinx is alone. I know that Darius started the Drake, but I didn't think that with Lulu I'm able to steal or something, so I just wanted to use this opportunity to catch Jinx. Unfortunately, Yumi casted exhaust pretty late, so it wasn't possible, and we have lost the Drake, so it's really worth for them. I took Ruby Crystal because I want to build Cinder, that item for tanks which grants you an area of effect clear. So Ham Tank is the first item, but I actually showed you the build in the beginning of the video, so you actually know what I mean. Here I avoided her E and straight for Jinx. Now I didn't have my taunt, yeah. And here it was stupid because he dragged me, so daily is really troll and I'm aware of that. But don't worry, this game is really worth watching. Like, there is a reason why I wanted to show you this replay exactly instead of recording again. Because I think that this game was crazy and it's showing the true potential of Rammus. And even if the early game is going like average, and I can still snowball so hard, then it shows how good Rammus can be. So let's see how it goes. Slow start, 3-0 Darius. It doesn't really seem like the game is going to be good. Also the matchup on top, like Gwen, is probably going squishy build against Gnar that is so impactful. So their team comp is really good. So I clear. In the middle of Raptors I press Q to deal damage to all of them. That's additional damage. And your combo, you press Q, you right click at your enemy, you collide with Q, then you press E, which is a taunt, and you activate your W. So your enemies are kind of killing themselves, because later you build Thorn Mail, and yeah, you know the effect of that. It basically makes your enemies take damage when attacking you. So you just go armor, and it's really good against full AD comps like this one, so it's also the reason why I wanted to use this game. Like Rammus is shining, especially in such games when you play against many magic damage based champions. It's not as good, of course. Rammus can still impact so hard, there are ADCs, there's a chance of some top laner, or even with AP, it still makes sense if you really like Rammus. But AD comes especially, because I'm gonna have tons of armor, Thorn Mail will just make me able to 1v1 pretty much everyone with the healing reduction, so even Darius, though it's going to require some items. And also I'm using Red Smite to help myself in these harder matchups like Darius, Gnar. Blue Smite grants you movement speed and it helps you in catching up to your targets, but actually you don't need it, because you have so much movement speed, and Red Smite causes you to deal additional true damage, and you also take like 20% less damage from your targets smited by you, so it has a really nice synergy. So yeah, also the clear is pretty nice, especially the sustain. I think you probably noticed early that I didn't have to use a potion. And Morgana is shining now 4 kills, so that's good. I'm actually surprised that Zed is doing so bad. But he got caught in Q and then there's W. Like Morgana mid is really underrated. But like Lulu with Jinx or Lulu with Darius are so huge. And here I'm trying to save Gwen, and actually was able to. And I kind of used my ult to test. It doesn't do much in the middle, like you deal more damage in the middle I think. But it's much better for an engage through an obstacle or something. So Gwen returned here and that was bad because I just wanted to save her. And she returned trying to outplay, and in the end that's it. Because I was just fighting her go back, Gwen would be safe, and that's it. That was just for the save. Okay, here we go. And there's the Drake. I have noticed that and I have taken actions. Even though there's vision, seeing that there's Ahri and Morgana, and seeing that Morgana is so fat, I knew that we can do this pretty quick. So yeah. And that's ours, nice. So at this point you should be trying to impact the game as much as you can, so just try to engage. Like here it's difficult. I didn't know if he has vision or not, but he went back, so yeah. Going for raptors, and I kill like this, you see it deals damage. It's much better when you have this item, that's what I mean. And that. And yeah, he failed flash so hard. Anyway, I was considering some counter jungling, but will I do it? Yeah, I am. Darius is here, I have noticed on the map. So Rammus can counter jungle a bit too. This clear is nice. But he will do the rift. Okay, and here I dive. Okay. So I pressed the taunt here, I think, or did I Q? Actually outplayed, so Rammus is so good for diving, and especially bot lane, because bot lane is more likely to be squishy. Like you saw the potential early with the gank that I failed against Gnar, with just Q flash, which can surprise your enemy without vision. And yeah, I'm just trying to be helpful. Later the synergy with you will shine so hard. So doing the scuttler, and it's really important to build Thornmail like it's your core, and especially the vest. And I think actually this game I could have built that a bit earlier because Darius is fat, so the healing reduction, here I'm taunting him, is pretty much dead, yeah. I knew that he would return to his position after using abilities. Here I'm baiting Darius for fun, like, come on, drag me. Well yeah, surely I can't handle Darius yet, until I get the item mentioned before. I hit the biggest neutral monster and that's it. The others are taking damage, both from my W and Cinder. It deals magic damage to nearby enemies. Great wave clear. Morgana having a hard time. She was split pushing and yeah. Happens. So we have lots of magic damage actually. To be fair, we don't have AD source. But since there's Rammus, I can shine because of this armor. I'm saving my Q just to be in range for 6 seconds and high. And because he's hitting me, he took the damage from the turret and that was pretty awkward, he didn't even destroy the turret. Now there's Darius, but it's a bit fishy. I flashed, hoping that he's alone. I ulted to maximize the damage, but with Gnar it wasn't possible. And I kind of didn't want to leave Morgana alone, but at first I thought I should just get away from here because it was really not likely to outplay them. Though based on Darius' health it was possible. We just lacked healing reduction. Morgana didn't have her ignite back then. and I have decided to complete this mythic item instead. And grants a really useful movement speed active, and if you time it well, it slows champions by 50% at the end, so Rammus is like one of the most impactful junglers. I think it depends on your skill and creativity, and with Rammus you can pretty much carry any game, because if you taunt the right target, you can win the team fight, or you can just drag attention of your enemies, like you're so tanky, your enemy is split, like your team can get rid of one enemy, and then you return back if there's a problem to kill, because with Rammus you not only engage, but you want to protect your allies, so you just taunt the dangerous threat that is attacking your AD carry, for example. And that was a nice team fight. There is such a comeback for us. There was no Gnar, so we used that chance. And that's another Drake for us. Great. Now I'll be going for that healing reduction. And that's what I need, because Darius completed Spirit Visage pretty early. So now it's really needed. And I'm taking the blue buff, because why not? I feel like Oracle is the best trinket for Rammus, because it allows you, to make some traps. I press W for additional stats, and I'm just trolling with them right now. The movement speed is so fun, like Rammus is one of the most fun to play champions, I think, when you play a tank. And you can see, I want to focus Jinx. I just want to make the game really unfun for her, do everything I can to shut her down. Rammus is made for this, to delete such squishes, especially those who lack many gap closers, or even one. Like Jinx with Lulu is so dangerous, but if you take the right action. Here I kind of trolled, because I should have avoided his Q. I was like, I have Yumi on myself, he's low on HP, I can do it without it, but Yumi actually disconnected and I died. That was so unfortunate. Because against Darius you should go out for a bit, he will do Q and then you return. He had so much healing and I didn't have the healing reduction. I just buffed it now. So 40% grievous wounds for 3 seconds, and when struck by an attack you deal magic damage to the attacker. So good. Because like with W during this time, during your W when it's active, your shell deals 100% damage, and the enemy that is attacking you takes damage, so you have double Thorn Mail now. And as you can see now with healing reduction it was much easier to shut down Darius. And now I'm confident to just chase down. I'm so tanky, as you could see Jinx did no damage. Lulu is trying so hard, she's pressing everything, there's a plant that I ignored, and I'm coming again, I'm not scared. Look at this. I also smited her, and that's so fun. So this is when Rammus shines. Once you complete these items, and this is the ult. I think it's pretty cool. It also deals damage based on the distance traveled. You can see how low the cooldowns are, and they're gonna get even lower. I can only complain about mana sometimes, but as the jungler we have blue buff, and you can complete Frozen Heart, which I did later. It's okay. And now I'm in control of this game. I'm gonna keep on Rammus to show you the cooldowns. Got no mana, so yeah. His mechanics are pretty simple. You just taunt. Also, Don't do it brainlessly, because you can stop channeling abilities, something like this, and it really makes a difference. Like, let's say there's Vel'Koz. His ults hurt so hard in a teamfight, and you can just taunt him or Q, doing in between and just stopping abilities that are crucial for the teamfight. It really matters how you play as Rammus, and you have to plan it. Like, of course the easiest way is to just chase someone down with all this movement speed, and it usually works, but sometimes it requires more to carry. And look at this, easy taunt. Oh yeah, Lulu with Darius. As you can see, I'm not wasting time just killing Darius for no reason. I go for Jinx and I go away, and that's it. And I'm gonna return for Lulu, I think, because it still didn't make sense to hit Darius. Look at this. I'm diving, I know that they're coming, but I'm gonna finish her off. And bye. Oh. I think I'm still gonna survive, yeah. Oh, that it's worth actually attacking him. And that ult hurt so much. He has this additional armor pen, so even with my items and even when I'm Rammus, I still couldn't handle him. There's the Drake, but yeah, it's probably theirs. Alright, I'm back. And I'm going for Frozen Heart, because it really makes sense to reduce their attack speed to gain some mana, to get more ability haste, even lower cooldowns. Let's see, because there's something I didn't notice before, I think. So if Sorin Slam is cast while Powerball is active, enemies near the center are knocked up for 0.75 seconds. Oh yeah, so it should be like you press Q and then you ult. I think I did it a few times in the game, but it was the first game when I tried Rammus after changes. I didn't test it in sandbox mode, so I had to learn during the game. Just press Q, imagine, and at the end of the effect or during that you press Alt, you jump through an obstacle and apply the effect of your Q, which is stronger, and maybe it can work like this, that you ult them first and then they get knocked up, or maybe it's just a bigger duration. Next you max E for attack speed and for longer taunt duration, and welcome Jinx. Why are you hitting yourself? It's unhealthy. Is that wasting time on me? Like, he's mad for all the past things I have done this game. And see, I'm dragging their attention, like, it will happen in many games. And I'm sure no matter what hero, Iron or Diamond, it can happen sometimes, because they underestimate how tanky you are. And that's what I was talking about before. You drag attention of the most fed enemy, or you delete the squishies. So I see Darius and I can see his healing, so I'm like, let's deal with some of them. There's Lulu, but actually it was too much, and they shut us down. Quadra. Darius is Darius, right? I have completed Frozen Heart. It reduces the attack speed and incoming damage. Grants you 400 mana. Let's go for Darius. As you can see, my mythics item active ended earlier, so I didn't slow him. I just wanted to reach him. This is looking good. So Nar jumped at Morgana, but I actually took Darius' attention, and there's Lulu. She's so annoying, like, he heals for so much and she's saving him, so I'm like, I'm done with it. I won't kill him, and surprise. And for that moment Lulu wasn't able to cast more on Darius, And Darius got a shutdown. Now I avoid Scuttler. Let's go, Zed. You can't get away. Also, I have this sorcery secondary page, so I have even greater movement speed. Like, the movement speed effects are working much better on me, and there's water walking, so I'm faster on the river. And that's the time for Baron. Though I really wanted to kill the enemy, so I wasted Smite. And yeah, in such stage of the game, you sometimes shouldn't Smite, just to save it for the objective. But I think it happens more often on the red one, because you know that you increase the damage. Sometimes it's not worth it. And I see Jinx, so I press everything. I'm so fast. Sadly I hit the minion wave, but it's still too much. Look at this. She got deleted as if I was an assassin. Is Rammus an assassin now? Going for Lulu, another squishy target. I can easily get away, so bye. Just being annoying. And by the way, I can do Rammus expression. Okay. Here we go, like, you can easily switch directions so they are confused. I got rid of that. Of course I'm not going at you. No. Here I wasted ult, kind of. Could have saved it for potential flash of Lulu, so I would follow her through the wall, but it's okay. At this point it doesn't make a difference, like, look at my cooldowns. Q, 4 seconds or 5, W, Q again. You're CC machine, kind of. Now combine that with something like Yumi and it's unstoppable. Okay, there's Darius. I have some mana, so I want to help, of course. But actually, so Jinx, and look, flash kill. That doesn't help. Bye. She's forced to attack me. She has QSS, she has this, and still, it's not enough. Rammus just makes ADCs useless, and he's never banned. Now I feel like Deadman's Plate is going to be so good, so I want to buy that. Do I have enough gold to afford it? I actually bought this item for the slow, but changed my mind. And now I'm going for Deadman's Plate, I think. And here we go. Now the movement speed. Look at this. 1500. Oh yeah, this is the most fun part of the video, I think. Just pay attention to movement speed. Why it won't follow. Okay. Flash got polymorphed. Out just to gap close. Not exactly the best. But here I go again, and welcome. This is so OP, like. Did Riot actually plan this? Here are, yeah, I took too much. Try that. Yumi has no mana, so I go back, I think.
Killing spree. Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And let's go. Wow, 800 armor? What? You saw that, guys? I had 800. I need to check something. 84%. What? 90 something reduction, and this is the use of your ulti. You gap close through the wall, and 2v5 now with everyone. You deal nothing to me. Triple. Lovely. So this is by far the best Rammus build, and I think it's hidden OP to play it in solo queue now, guys, so you can test that. And even without Yumi, he's still good. But with such support, even more. Beyond broken. Here a nice play from them, but look, it's not doing anything to me. Need to pay attention for that moment of the highest armor. I had 1000 for a moment, right? Okay. Here I can still impact, like... I want to help. There's snip with me. And I ought to get ways. As you can see, you can also sometimes save yourself like this. And with the old Rammus ult, you wouldn't be able to. So it's huge. Here we go. I kind of didn't have to. I was tilting. Oh, hi Jinx. Yeah, I won't do that. And time to back right. Or the Drake. Probably went for the blue buff, if it's there. It is. So...
Red team has slain the dragon.
Oh, he took the Drake. Haha, just strolling by. Okay. And now I'm kind of going for Omen, but I took the elixir that reduces tenacity. That increases tenacity. And look at this, guys, the longest Yumi jump ever. That's the record. $800 armor. Fast. Here we go. Look at the movement speed now. Oh. Nearly 2000. Hi Jinx, I didn't forget about you. And the flash, 900 armor, I could see for a moment. Okay. Everyone focusing me, but I just ult to get away. Nice. And I return to Darius. Now set, bye. Like, Rammus kind of counters assassins too, and that's great. I also did the highest amount of damage with Rammus, you can see at the end of the video soon. And that's it, guys, thanks for watching, I hope that you enjoyed, and if you did, then you can leave a like and subscribe. And you can also check out my other videos and stream. See you next time.